actually share something a little bit different. So this is not going to be a craft project. If you want that, skip to the next video, or I'm also going to try to make some playlists. But what I wanted to share is I also collect like old books, paperwork. I have a lot of like vintage medical documents and medical equipment. And these, if you watched where I redid my craft room, these were in my cabinet. These are actually a Goodwill find. So I have Clark's Commentary. And then this is a family Bible, and this is a Bible. And when I saw them, I really didn't know anything about them. These I still have not found any information on. So if you know anything about them, if you want to put some comments below and help me, that would be great. These I have seen a few sets through online auctions and things. But when I went to Goodwill, they had all of them up front by the register, and they were like, I want to say they were either like $170, $180 altogether. And they had one of those sales where they do like books 50% off. And so I asked the cashier, I'm like, hey, I said, these are books. Would these be the half off? And they were like, well, it says books on the tag, so I'm pretty sure it's going to ring up that way. So I figured I'll take a chance, especially seeing how old they are. And the reason that I grabbed them, and I love them in particular, is because the Clark's Commentary, it's the New and Old Testament. And then with the Bibles, a lot of times, like, this is stuff that it's going away. You know, it's just, we're in a technology age now, so you're not really going to have this, you know, as time continues, which is pretty sad. But, you know, people had their Bibles. They studied their Bibles. They passed their Bible through, on through generations. They kept things like obituaries. They kept, you know, baby announcements, all the things that also, you know, correlate with not only things that are happening in their life, but things that are happening with their families. So I actually think it's kind of cool if you don't have one. I know my mom has our family Bible, and which is cool. It's got our family tree and everything in there. But if you don't have one, maybe it's something we can get back to doing, because it's really cool, especially with so many people doing like ancestry and all that. So no, we're all interested to see where we come from and kind of track our roots. These are, of course, like I said, purchased from Goodwill. So if it does have names in there that are familiar with your family, or that you share this name and you want to link any of this on like Ancestry, or want some information like on the obituaries I know that I've seen in here, then I can try to post like maybe like a picture to it, or can send it to you. Just send me a message in the comments. But I have not gone through them other than opening like the first page of these books. So I do know there's some obituaries. These are from the 1800s, this set right here. So these are obituaries from the 1800s, and there's something that looks like there was a letter at one time that kind of rubbed off into this little one, and this is my favorite find. And then this one, I think, had some obituaries. So we'll see if there's anything hidden in the pages, because that's the really cool part that I wanted to share with y'all. So I hope y'all enjoy it, and we'll get started with the Clark's Commentaries, I think. So this is volume 1 of Clark's Commentary. And here, you can see, it is 1833. So this is, we're a decade shy of it being 200 years old. And let's see if there's anything in here. Oh, there's a little flip out. Let's see what that is. I don't see anything inside. Okay, so what is this? So this has genealogy of the patriarchs. And then it has Birth of Christ here. Let's see what else we have. Don't see anything in that part. And look at how good this, I mean, look at the binding for this being so old. Oh, there's something. What's this? This looks like, it's like a page of a smaller Bible, actually. Leave that in there. Maybe something that resonated. Almost said resignated. Resonated. I don't see anything in here. Oh, no, there's something. Huh. Wheeler and Wilson's highest premium international exposition, Königsberg, Prussia. Something from a sewing machine, it looks like, maybe. And then there's a part of a map. And that says London, 1802. And maybe Paris, or 1852 maybe, and Paris 1861 it looks like, maybe. That's pretty cool. Try to flatten that out in between the pages so that maybe it'll get some of that creasing out. Don't see anything in there. Oh, here's another something. So a map. Be really careful not to throw this. Israelites from Egypt to the land of Canaan, looks like. And it's got the Mediterranean Sea, according to the Jews, the Western or Great Sea, and Gulf of Gaza. That is pretty cool. I'm going to be very, very, very careful to not give it any new creases so that it does not bend in any kind of way. Oh, a little dried flower. It looks like a... Oh, what are those ones with little stuff in the middle? I can't think of what those are called, but they're like Alice in Wonderland where they have little faces. Not seeing really much in there. Ooh, here's another map. Let's see if there's anything else squished in. Not that I see. Oh, this one. Promised Land, Syria. A map of the Promised Land, Syria. And trying to be very, 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 very careful. Is this Aram of Syria, of Damascus? And then it says Aram of Syria, of Zobah. If anyone can help me with those pronunciations, if I have them wrong, please kind of put like how you would enunciate it in the comments for me. That looks like it's like that, so we're going to try to leave that how it was. Let's see what else I've got. After a thoughtful silence, he again broke out, "Mama, do cows have to be spanked?" I sat with Fanny quite alone. I begged her for a kiss, but she said, "Sir, I'll give you none. I'll scream and call for sis." I kissed her, though, in bold attack, and challenged the hereafter. Well, did she scream? Oh, yes, she did, but 'twas a long time after. Oh my goodness, it's cute. They must have thought that was cute as well. Or maybe a little crush gave that to them. Oh, here's something. I'm not sure what that says. I wonder if they just used it maybe as like a bookmark. It looks like just a kind of a random torn sheet of paper. Ooh, don't slide too far on us. Parsonage, M.E. Church, Reverend G.W. Ballou, B-A-L-L-O-U, pastor. That's a name I don't think I've ever seen, and I've worked years and years in customer service, but that's Delmar, Iowa. And look right here, it has 1880 so that they can fill in the year, so this is super old. For Miss Harrington S. Takashima, Tokyo, Japan. Oh, does anyone know Japanese? I'm going to hold that up there a minute. Does anybody know in Japanese what that says? So if your name is Baloo from Delmar, Iowa, that pastor might be some of your lineage. That is cool. And any Japanese people that can, or people that know how to read Japanese, if you can share, that would be awesome. All right, let's see if volume 2 has stuff. This is awesome. So Delmar High School, Friday evening, June 4th, 1897. So they had a little high school program here. So that's, you know, probably something from a family member that they attended. So this is kind of what I was talking about, where, you know, keep like announcements and things. This one does have some obituaries as well. So the one on the left says, on Sunday last at 3 o'clock p.m. of dropsy, Leroy K. Harrington. So Leroy, L-E-R-O-Y, middle initial K, last name Harrington, age 67 years, 10 months, and 6 days. Boy, is that exact. The funeral occurred on Tuesday with interment in the Delmar Cemetery. Reverend J.A. Souders, S-O-U-D-E-R-S, preached a most eloquent and feeling sermon. All of the arrangements for the funeral, the text, the chapter to be read, the songs, the pallbearers were all selected by the deceased several days prior to his demise. Oh, okay, so that was unexpected. Mr. Harrington was born in Ellisbury, so E-L-I-S-B-U-R-Y, Jefferson County, New York. So anyone that's got families in that area that is what was it again? Harrington. He was married to Esther M. Nelson, January 11th, 1846, with whom he lived until September 17th, 1879, when she passed to higher life. To them were given, as fruit of this union, 7 children, 5 of whom survive and were present at his death. March 11th, 1880, he was married to Miss Sarah Willey, Willey, who survives him. In 1842, he became a Methodist and walked as such up to his final hour on earth. In 1855, he came to Iowa and remained a citizen of the Commonwealth until life's close. For many years, Mr. Harrington had been a resident of Delmar and vicinity. Here, most of his children were born unto him, and in this vicinity they grew to useful man and womanhood. Here he was known in all the varying and trying walks of daily life, and when we say he was ever held in high esteem by all who knew him, it means something. It means that for 19 years he led an active Christian life in fact as well as in theory and profession. It means that a good and true man has lain life's armor down, having fought a good fight to receive the crowning reward for all his patient toil in that land beyond the grave. This morning at his house near town, Benjamin Decker, Decker, aged 50, died from consumption. The funeral will take place tomorrow, Saturday, at 10 o'clock from the late residence, with burial at Maquoketa, Maquoketa, the Baptist minister from the town officiating. Mr. Decker has been a great sufferer for years with asthmatic troubles, was an old and respected resident of this vicinity, and was unmarried. He leaves a mother and sister as surviving members of his household. So, the Harrington one that's on there, seems like everybody really liked him. And we got this loner guy, the Benjamin Decker, which you wonder with different names too, is it maybe just like friends and family that she has in here, or, you know, are they cousins and things like that? And then we have another one, sudden death. On Tuesday forenoon last, this community was thrown into mourning by the sad and unexpected announcement that the spirit of Miss O. Brewster, Brewster, had passed to higher life. Miss Brewster's death was caused by an acute attack of pneumonia, a disease that seems to be almost surely fatal to persons well along in years. Sarah A. Brewster was born January 30th, 1832. It was consequently in her 61st year. She became the wife of Mr. O. Brewster, her bereaved husband. February 3rd, and it's abbreviated FEB', 3rd, 1858. To this union was born one daughter, a Ms. Hattie Willey, so Hattie Willey, for anyone who has that name, of this place. Miss Brewster came to Iowa with her husband in 1861, since which time she had lived continuously in this vicinity, surrounded by many warm friends who deeply feel their sudden bereavement. For many years she had been a member of the Methodist Church, and her life had been one filled with Christian purity and action. The funeral occurred Thursday at 10:30, Reverend J.A. Saunders of Wyoming conducting the services, which occurred at her late home, and her body was laid to rest at Delmar Cemetery. Reverend Saunders gave one of his thoughtful, pleasant, and characteristic sermons which brought comfort to every person present. That a good woman was gone is the expression of all. So the other part of this is, they had also mentioned Methodist, so it may also be church members. Again, like just friends or things, people she's acquainted with as well. Alright, so we had another little sheet of paper coming up here, and then my camera was going woozy. So here's the next one. Sweet Sabbath time, again thine hours return, thine hours with sacred joy and hallowed rest, type of the better rest which doth remain. So these look like maybe stuff from like the newspaper that they liked. a baker song. The bread to mental service. I do not despise to raise my jumbled notes and melody, and my fair sweet tarts praise. The baker needs some tender flour to love and kiss and please, and then turn over quick as snap and cracker at his ease. And though the muffin does the pangs of stomach ache to roll, my pious thoughts I lean upon, contentment of my soul. Her a biscuit that Egypt praise, the albatross whose flap Jack loves when rising from the yeast, do give me verbum sap. Guess because of all the little like donut and sweet tart stuff like that in there. That's goofy. Oh, there's another one. Matrimonial Miscellany, number 10. O Laura, I will nothing I bring thee, e'er soften than looks of disdain. Are the songs of affection I sing thee, all doomed to be sung thee in vain? I offer thee, fairest and dearest, a treasure the richest I'm worth. I offer the love the sincerest, the warmest gloweth upon earth. But the maiden a haughty look flinging, said, cease my compassion to move, for I'm not very partial to singing, and their poor whose sole treasures is love. A thought to Celebs Benedict Esquire. And then the Suffering Savior. So we've got, that looks like a biblical poem. Whoop. And another little biblical piece. So I wonder if those are from newspapers, or maybe if it's like the, like, you know, a church bulletin or church printout. Oh, there's something. Over the Tide. Come unto me and chant. Looks like hymns, maybe? Oh, there's another piece. She's really putting stuff in this one, huh? Mary Jones. Looks like almost a little, like those little tiny books. Oh, and then there's some crushed flowers. There's another, oh wow, that's a big piece of paper. Let's see if there's anything. Some more pressed flowers. You wonder why those flowers? From a bouquet that someone brought her? From someone's grave? Just flowers she liked? Maybe from like a trip or something? What is this? Oh, is this like a letter or something? Wow, 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 wow. Oh my gosh. Gloom of autumn, maybe? Hail ye singing songs of sorrow, view with me the autumn gloom, yearn from hence your fate tomorrow, dead perhaps lain in the tomb. See all nature fading, dying, Silent all things seem to mourn. That's crazy. Okay, I'm keeping that to the side. I might have to frame that or something. That is cool. Oh, another thing. Minnie B. Lewis. Moynie B. Lewis. Moinnie B and then Lewis. Is it like a little business card, you know? Like some type of version of a business card? What in the world? I don't see anything else in there. What are these? Dynamite? Some kind of guy getting hit by a ram or something? Somebody combing their hair? What the heck? Some guy jumping over like a big old cowbell looking thing. People looking like they're getting married. I don't know what that is. Do y'all know what that is? If someone will comment. Almost looks like a perfume thing, or but it could be going that way. Could maybe go that way. Who knows? And then what's the last one? Some feet or something? What? That's random. It's just like all these poems and biblical stuff, and then just like this random, almost like, I don't know, like someone else put that in there. You know what I mean? Like, show like a grandkid or something messing around. Blue piece of paper. Oh, there was something. I have drank my last glass. No comrades, I thank you, not any for me. My last chain is riven, henceforward I'm free. I will go to my home and my children tonight, with no fumes of liquor, their spirits too bright. And with tears in my eyes, I will beg my poor wife to forgive me the wreck I have made of her life. I have never refused you before, let that pass, for I've drank my last glass, boys, I've drank my last glass. You would hardly believe, boys, to look at me now, that a mother's soft hand was once pressed on my brow. When she kissed me and blessed me, her darling, her pride, or she sat down to rest by my dead father's side. But with love in her eyes, she looked up to the sky, bidding me meet her there and whisper goodbye. And I'll do it, God helping, your smile let pass, for I drank my last glass, boys, I drank my last glass. Huh. So, do you think maybe that was her vice, or his vice, whoever owned these books? Almost seems like it, Maybe as a reminder to not venture down that path. No, there was a blue sheet of paper. I don't know where it went. I think it was just something blue though, like a piece of construction paper. It didn't look like it had writing, like maybe almost like a bookmark. So that's number 2. That was interesting. All right, number 3. Let's see what we have. G. Harrington, Dollytown, Wisconsin. Now, the other obituary said Harrington, so maybe these belong to Harrington. So G. Harrington, Dollytown, Wisconsin, it looks like. Doyltown. And let's see what this one has. This one seems stiffer, like maybe it was one they did not read as much, because you see even the pages are still standing up after all these years. Ooh. I'll see what that is in a minute. It almost feels slick. Doesn't feel like regular paper. Not really seeing anything in there. Huh. I'm not sure what that says on the back, but it looks like a little kid practicing cursive. But this is not regular paper. It almost feels like, if y'all have those Cricut, like, you know, Cricut vinyl, you peel it and on the back it has that, like, slick stuff. That's what it feels like. So maybe they were getting a little bored practicing or being distracted, and they took that away to get them to pay attention. Ooh, there's another paper. So this one looks like an obituary as well. So we have Orson. Looks like it may almost be Brewster, like Brewster. Was born at Dresden, Washington County, New York on August 6, 1832, and was therefore in his 60th year. In 1861, he, accompanied by his family, came to Iowa, purchasing a farm near this place, where he resided until a few years ago when he moved into town. By industry, rigid honesty, and perseverance, he became well-to-do, and has been doing what might be called taking life easy for several years. Yet his restless spirit kept him continually engaged in some enterprise, and of late, he'd been improving some farms he had purchased in central Iowa. He was a man most loyal and accommodating to his friends, and one whose word was as good as his bond. He was outspoken and honest in his convictions, and there was never any doubt as to where he stood on any and all questions affecting the interests of the community at large. He was honest, upright, and honorable in all of his dealings with mankind, and a good citizen who will be greatly missed by all classes of people. The funeral will occur at the late residence on Sunday next at 11 o'clock. Reverend E.G. Waite officiating with interment in the Delmar Cemetery. Profound sympathy is felt by the entire community for Miss Hattie Willie, the only surviving member of the family. So there's Willie again. So this coincides with the other obituaries. So again, it'd be interesting to know, like, are they, you know, just friends or whatnot? But that's the only thing in that one. No obituaries in the front. This is another one, ooh, where the pages are a little more stiff. Jesus at the well. So a little biblical poem or writing. Huh. What a cool pattern. Wouldn't that be just a really pretty wallpaper? Nice. Wonder what 36 was. Maybe they had like a little, like a raffle or something. Ooh, there was a paper. Co-partnership. The rum seller's proposal to the devil. Dear sir, I've opened apartments fitted up with the enticements of luxury for the sale of rum, brandy, gin, wine, beer, and all their compounds. Our objects, though different, can be best obtained by united action. I therefore propose a co-partnership. All I want in men is their money. All else shall be yours. I will return them to you as drunkards, paupers, and beggars. Oh, cool. What's this? Is this money? What in the world? I don't know what that is. Do y'all know what that is? Oh no, it says post office. Is that a stamp? Look, it says, oh, you know what it might be? Like a stamp book cover. Because you have 5, and then it says postage stamps, post office. Oh, that's cool. All right, putting that in my little pile over there. That is cool. Too bad it's not like all together. It'd be neat to see how it looked like at top. There's another one of those, or that little number that we found. Ooh, there's something. I saw it. Let's see what that is. Anything else in here? This is why it's so cool going through this. It's like, oh, there's something else. And some type of maps. Ooh, I'm trying to keep all these together because there's a lot in this one. All right, cool. All right, so first there's this. Let's see what this is. A new plate of the temple at Jerusalem. So it's like a, it almost looks like a floor plan or something. And then this is torn. Home interests. We might all of us make the world happier and better if we knew how to be gentle and patient in sickness and trials, or if we could convince ourselves that it was as easy to accept disappointments and discouragements. Isn't that the truth, right? That's like still the case now. So we have another, let's see, Mediterranean Sea. So another type of map here. Box number 105, post office to box rent. 10 cents, look at that. So they got some type of like post office box in July 1st, 1879, and it was 10 cents. Box number 43. And then box 105, June 30th, 1879. Interesting. What was in the box? Just mail, huh? It's like a post office box, so. I always wonder, like, why do you have a post office box? Unless you travel a lot, but, like, is it because you were getting, like, secret mail? You know, stuff you don't want to tell people about. All right, next one. Ooh. So we have that G. Harrington again. And then this one is Barney. So last name Barney, B-A-R-N-E-Y. And it's Lorinda, L-O-R-I-N-D-A. So Miss Lorinda Barney died in Hillsboro, Wisconsin, March 1st, 1888. She was age 73. Deceased was the widow of Reverend Godfrey W. Barney, who preceded her to the better world in May 1863 and had been in itinerant for 36 years. At his death, he belonged to the Black River Conference, New York. Miss Barney was a daughter of Peter and Polly Wilder, so here's a new last name for y'all. So Wilder, W-I-L-D-E-R, and was born in Wethersfelt, Vermont, July 2nd, 1814. She was married September 30th, 1832 at Bombay, New York. On account of poor health, Brother Barney took a supernumerary relation and with his family moved to Wisconsin in 1858. and resided at Ripon until September. So it's Ripon, so Ripon or Ripon. When they moved to Wonewoc, Wonewoc, where Brother Barney died. Sister Barney had resided in Mauston, Wisconsin, Mauston, with a son for some years, where she held her church relationship, but was spending the winter with her son, Henry, in Hillsboro. She was a member of the M.E. Church from childhood, bore all the hardships and privations of the itinerant life patiently and bravely, feeling honored of God and being called to such work for him, it looks like. She was a woman of rare intellect, a faithful Christian, a noble mother, a kind friend and neighbor. Her influence for God and right was felt by everyone with whom she came in contact. She never failed to speak for Christ. She leaves 3 sons and a daughter. The funeral services were conducted by Wonewoc by her pastor from Mauston, assisted by the pastor at the place. And then we have a Ms. Henry Harris. Ms. Henry Harris. And now they put in here, it says Nee Miss Nutting. And it almost looks like Goonise. Was born and married in the town of Henderson, was 53 years old, had recently lived in Ellisburg near Woodville, was a few days since overtaken by that dreaded disease paralysis, and despite the skill of the best physicians, was removed by the merciless hand of death in the midst of usefulness and the activities of life. She left her pleasant home and pleasant interesting family to mourn her untimely loss. The Reverend Mr. Rice officiated the funeral, and kindly hands decorated the casket with an elaborate and tasteful display of flowers, which speaks to the deep and lasting friendship developed in the locality where her earthly career so suddenly closed. In this hour of sadness, the husband and family desire to tender their earnest gratitude to all and who assisted in this appropriate floral offering. Now this looks like Mr. George W. Harrington. Now this is what we keep seeing here in some of the obituaries, so maybe this was his. So George W. Harrington, it looks like. And something with an O and maybe a G. Maybe like Osage or something like that. And then this looks like maybe a Wisconsin. I'm not familiar with that area enough to know if there's like a Osage place. Alright, have we got anything in else? Ooh. Now this one, all that fronts. See all these papers? They're not as stiff, so this is one they spent some time in. Ooh, there was something. There's something. Little scrap paper to mark, like a bookmark. And another scrap, looks like bookmark. There's something. And there's something. That looks like it was a map, but it's torn. What is this? That honestly, it's like leaves, but they're silver. And see, it's starting to break off. I mean, they're so delicate. Not seeing anything there. Not seeing anything there. Let's see if there's not too much in that one. And then our last one is volume 6, at least of the Clarks. There's all kinds of stuff. Wonder what that's going to be. Something, jealousy on our weekends, have faith in God. Great privileges, but punished. Ordinances won't save. Therefore, take heed. Reverend. Something Harrington. A. Harrington. Vermilion. Oswego. OSWEGO. Premium cast steel hose. Hay forks. To something after one every day for your something that you would I can't read that. I'm going to hold this up a minute. Can anybody read that? Something like, or your something from, I don't know. If we walk in the light as he is the light, we have fellowship one with another, and the blood of Christ, his Son, cleanseth us from all sin. July 1837. July 4th, 1837. Look at that. Independence Day. Some little flowers, almost like from a card or something. Some kind of machine. It almost looks like those like crafting scissors, right? That's weird. It's like all just kind of like scrap paper. Little piece of ribbon. That's odd. Maybe someone was just like cutting up paper, or almost seems like, you know, if like kids or grandkids were around, they're just like mucking about. There's something. It says antimonial wine. So maybe it was like sanctimonial before it was cut off. All right, let's take a look into the Holy Bible now. And we've got a cure for diphtheria. And then this says, mothers, cut this out and paste this item in your work basket. An eminent physician says he does not fail in effecting a cure of scarlet fever in children more than once in 100 cases by simply giving the patient warm lemonade with gum arabic dissolved in it. A cloth wrung out of hot water and laid upon the stomach should be renewed as often as it becomes cool. And to this simple treatment, it is said the most obstinate cases seldom fail to succumb. It is certainly worth a trial. So isn't that kind of crazy? Because you hear a lot about people even now saying to drink like lemon water or warm lemon water in the morning. And in this Bible we have, after those, we've got the obituary for a John Roush. So John, last name Roush. was born in Harrison County, Ohio, February 13th, 1832, and departed this life December 14th, 1908, thus making him the ripe age of 76 years, 10 months, and 1 day. When a mere child, he removed with his parents to Indiana, settling on a reservation on which he resided until 1853, when he came to Jackson County, Iowa, where he continued to reside ever since, with the exception of 2 winters spent in California and 2 in Florida for his health. November 8th, 1854, he was united in marriage to Miss Sarah A. Liston. So that last name is Liston. And to this union were born 5 children: Elmira E. Fulton, Laura A. Parmer, Parmer, deceased Addie M. Woodard of Maquoketa, it looks like, Maquoketa, and E.B. Roush of Dike, Iowa, and Alice, who died in infancy. So if you have any of those names in your lineage or know anyone that does, some information there. And we've got, must be something else on this other side of paper, because I don't think this little cutout of rice jambalaya. There we go. So this one is Nancy Roush's obituary. So Nancy Rousch. And it's interesting that that one was Roush, Roush, and this one is showing Rousch. So if you do have Roush in your family or know someone that does, you may want to check both spellings if you're doing any kind of lineage research. And this is from Iowa as well. And I'm looking in here to see if we have any other names. We have a Byron Coon, so Byronkoon. And then here is Ms. B.A. Coon. It says right up here, and then it says Nancy Roush was born in Wabash County. She died in Kingsley, Iowa, December 30th, 1916, at the age of 76. Let's see if we have any other. Here we go. With her youngest son, Charles H. Just says Charles H. though. Not seeing any other names in that. And let's see what the actual Bible itself says. Nancy Coon. I don't know if that maybe says Wolf Creek. Interesting. So this Bible, it's kind of coming apart from the binding, but it's holding up pretty well for its age. So Nancy Coon's Bible. So, this was hers. And we've got a Ms. Minnie Coon. And this one has, right here at the bottom where it says 2 daughters, a Ms. Phyllis Wilson and a Ms. Lois Applegate of Sioux City, and 1 stepsister, a Miss Florence Heath of St. Charles, Missouri. So this Bible is 1868. And has New and Old Testaments. And let's see if she has anything in here like the other person did, which I think is a man that owned the other Clark's Chronicles. Not so far, huh? I don't think there's may not be anything in here. And that was to about here. Yeah, not showing anything there. And this one, look at the large print. Let's fix this page. Not showing anything in there. Fix that page as well so we can get these back in order. Not showing anything there. I don't even so much as see like a... I mean, obviously she's got... Some of these pages are turned down. So maybe she was bookmarking them. But I don't see any highlights or notes or anything really other than the obituaries. How is that page? Just ripped. I'm gonna bend that back too. Oh, there's something. Looks like another one of the family's obituaries. So if you're a Coon, this is Nicholson Coon. Miss Ethel M. Nicholson, daughter of Chas H. Nicholson, whose farm in 4 miles west of St. Ansgar. And Mr. Walter L. Coon, son of Mr. and Ms. Henry M. Coon of Riceville. Oh, we're married. This isn't an obituary. Oh, Nicholson Coon. I get it. That makes more sense now. They were married near Nashua, Wednesday, June 22nd. The ceremony was performed in the presence of about 25 guests, members of their respective families, and Miss Della Nicholson sang, "I Love You Truly," after which Miss Della Nicholson played "Oh, Promise Me." That's sweet. I've not seen a wedding announcement almost all the time in these. It's the obituaries. So we've got the 1868. This has pages missing, obviously, because it starts at page 7. I didn't notice really any pages missing in the Clark's commentary one. Again, just some pages that we're gonna bend back into place so that they get flattened out and fixed. Not really. There we go. Looks a little bit better. Not really seeing anything in there. So I think that's it for that one. We've just got some obituaries, the marriage announcement. Trying to bend those back. Beautiful binding. Absolutely beautiful binding. I took a picture of it and I haven't been able to find anything through Google Images that match it. And then this one is my absolute favorite. And I have not looked through the pages, but I did see the front. This is a teeny tiny little pocket Bible. Look at that. Absolute favorite. And this one has property of Harrington. And I'm not sure what this name is. It almost looks like a shoal. Like ASHEL or ASHU, maybe like a shoe. I don't know. But Harrington presented him at his initiation to the Washington Lodge, April 2nd. Right, it looks like APRIL too, and then looks like 822. So I don't know. And then this is signed by, I have no idea, maybe BA or BULLAN. Valensieg? And this one is 1821. And what's cool, look at how oh cool, there's some more stuff in there. So, George Harrington, born 28th October 1818. Charles, oh, I have no idea, LEGRE, born March 24th, 1821. Ellisburg, looks like maybe Jefferson County, New York, maybe. Died 20th April 1821. Leroy something Harrington, born July 31st, 1823, in Ellisburg, Jefferson County, looks like maybe New York. Well, and this may be him. This right here looks like ASAHEL. Assail. Bert Harrington, March the 28th, 1811. Town of Coven? I'm not sure. Fairfax Street, New York. So he has a couple of like deaths and births. But what's cool about this is, and I have tried to look, like put this on my camera, and I've taken pictures, like lightened it and darkened it and everything. And let me see if I can get y'all better. Like right there. So you can see it looks like he wrote a letter, and the letter was in here at one point in time, and almost looks like I don't think he wrote this in here. I think that because of the outline where it looks like paper was, I think that the charcoal from the pencil rubbed off. But it looks like it says, I wish I had someone to go home with me after if any of y'all can make that out, please tell me in the comments what you think it says. But it's like I'm not sure. Something like, chance if I do. Well, all right, I will. Maybe something out of church. Something my life. But you stick to me to have at least the corner. I have no idea what any of this means. But it's like, don't know if maybe he was writing that just in like a journal to himself too. Maybe it was in this book, but this kind of looks like an outline of paper to me. But when I lightened and darkened it, it looked like the church part was like, it almost looked like he was talking about some kind of girl that was in church that he had liked. But let's see if there's anything in the actual pages here. Be a little gentler with this. Look at that tiny print too. Teeny tiny to be able to like fit all this information in this little pocket Bible. In 1820, was it 1822? You're talking 200 years old. Which is crazy. And it looks like it's got like all of its pages. There is a bookstore not too far from us, and they had a few antique Bibles. This is way older than what they have though. So I asked the storekeeper if he could maybe give some information about it. And there's something on that paper. And he said if I bring it in that he knows a fair amount about Bibles. So I'm going to see if he can tell me about this, because this is another one that I like Googled, image searched, and I can't find anything on it. All right, we got some more. So this is that Assail Harrington person. And maybe this is a family name. Born the 23rd... thinking that may be July. Born 23 July 1786 in Guilford County. That almost looks like it says Vermo, like maybe it's Vermont. Polly Partridge, born 6 June 1782 in Fairfield County, state of Connecticut, it looks like. Marsiard, Maseared. And that looks like first. Maybe these are January, not July. Maybe it's like Jany, 1806. Sally M. Harrington, born 6th November 1806 in Ridgefield County. Looks like that's Connecticut. Daniel J. Harrington, born 28th of August 1808. Something, and that's C-O-N again, so I think Connecticut. And then that same name, this Archel or Eschel or whatever, Harrington, born 28th March 1811 in Huntington, Fairfield County, Connecticut. And then this looks like maybe Neville or Neville, N-E Nerval. Harrington, born 18th November 1803. So he had some more of his family tree in there, so that's cool if any of you guys are Harringtons. And I don't think there's anything else in here. I just want to check if you wrote dates anywhere else. Nope. So, looks like our clerk's commentaries, they had a lot of different information in them. Really good condition. And some paper. This one just looked like they just marked some pages. And if I find out some information on this one, when I take it to that bookstore, I'll do a follow-up and let y'all know. I hope you guys enjoyed looking through the books, and I thought it was really cool to find the obituaries and things like that. So I'm going to take some pictures, and then if you have any of those last names and you want those, again, just comment below if you have those names or know someone that does. I'll share that information, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. I love looking through older books. I love anything that's like 1800s especially, and we'll see if when I'm out hunting I find some more. See y'all next time.